Hey everyone, and welcome to Unsupervised Consequences. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and I am talking about, I guess, how I'm trying to duplicate the success I've had in the past. I went, in my previous series, I explained I went from over 450 pounds to under 300, and now I'm sitting at 288 pounds. And essentially just kind of trying to make my progress stick. So everything I learn on a daily basis, I'm trying to broadcast here in 10 to 15-minute videos to give everybody a better chance because life is hard as it is. I'm just trying to make it easy for someone. So today we are talking about holding ourselves accountable. I'm very bad at this. Unless I follow certain criteria. And that may be what a lot of people go through. Hey, what's up, Michael Bryan? Thanks for coming out, buddy. 288. Yeah, I know. It's very odd. I'll tell you right now. My wife and I we went and saw a movie, which I may do a video all on its own, just a review of the new Transformers and why Michael Bay should get punched in the face by everyone who meets him. But I digress. We went to get ice cream. As we're waiting for ice cream, some guy who was significantly smaller than me bumped into me. No excuse me, no, oh, can I get by? Nothing. And I was just like, man, I'm in control of my emotions. I'm in control of my emotions, and that's how I have to live my life. And that's one of the things with regards to keeping yourself accountable. Is there certain principles if you establish, then you can keep on progressively building on them. It is a nightmare, but so is life. So basically, how do you keep yourself accountable if you're always trying to if like the way I explained it was I like the blurb that I wrote was people say though you have to get out of your own way to be successful, okay? And then if you're trying to become better, the only opponent you have is yourself. So, okay, fine. Both good advice, both viable, make sense. However, then how, if we're only fighting ourselves, do we keep ourselves accountable? It's a fair question, right? So, that being said, some of the stuff that I've learned is start small. If and excuse me, one of the key components of this is that if you can learn to stay strong. Just one more moment, one more decision is all it takes because those can be cumulative and give you that positivity you need, the reinforcement you need. For myself, the problem is I'll bamboozle myself so very often. Today was lemonade, and I was like, "Oh, this is great lemonade." I'm like, "It's got a lot of sugar in it, doesn't it?" And they're like, "Yes, it does." I'm like, "Dang!" As soon as that happens, all bets are off. Now, I did last till about 4 o'clock before I ate. So while I, you know, still stood by my principles with regards to intermittent fasting, I did have a window. I ate during that window. It's fine. Now I'm not eating, right? Did I eat things that were poor for me? Yes. Will I suffer for them? Yes. And I'm okay with that. But that's part of how I keep myself accountable. You can't be perfect. If you're perfect, um, you're either not doing enough or you're doing too much, right? I would have decked him, but I also got in trouble for getting in a fight inside jail one time, so that extended my stay a little longer. But that guy was an asshole, so it was worth it. But any other time, I would have probably controlled myself. Exactly. It's one of those kind of things where, hey, if I don't uh, uh, show a little bit, just a little bit of self control, the repercussions are huge. And I'll be honest, in my experience, being gigantic, a giant animal, people have zero um, willingness to be kind and go, oh, well, you're the victim. Even if you are the victim, it lasts about 3 minutes and then everyone goes, okay, who gives a shit? And that's a hard pill to swallow. So, better to show some self control. And like I said, you're absolutely right, Michael Bryan. Sometimes you just want to punch people in the face. That's that. I miss the 80s and 90s because you could do that kind of stuff. Now, good luck. Um, but that's the whole thing. Is the repercussions for it are significant. So invest your strength where it helps you. Right. Remember, every time somebody does that kind of stuff, all it does is make us. It's an effort to make us weaker in the most basic form of our existence, and that's so uh, 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 easy to fail, so easy, and that's why it's the idea of keeping ourselves accountable is a one step at a time progress. Like I remember hearing a good example of somebody who had sobered up for their family and for their kids, and when their kids realized that their dad had sobered up sometime in their youth and progressive did, they said, "Dad, do you think you're ever, uh, do you think you're going to be able to stay sober for the rest of your life?" And he said, "I don't have to do that. Just one more day. Just one more day." And that idea of building up on those small goals is useful. Kind of the how you keep yourself accountable. Because I'll tell you, the idea that I started with the that you are your own worst enemy, 100%, and you have to get out of your own way. And when you're competing, the only person you're really competing with is your older self. All absolutely 100% accurate and things that I would believe to the day I die. And I think that that is a better way of perceiving existence. So it's one of those things where we kind of have to not disassociate, but understand the complexities of holding ourselves accountable is what makes progress possible. Because, like I said, life is hard. Life is very difficult. Life is it's one of those things where every time you try and hold on, the harder you hold, the harder it gets. And it seems like the worst thing you could do is let go. And it 9 times out of 10 tends to be the right thing. We've heard examples where people say, this too shall pass. Okay, let it pass. That's a valuable thing. We have to realize that if we're not in the proverbial driver's seat of our existence, then we are a passenger. The what we don't want to accept, and I know for myself, I don't want to accept this, is that our our proverbial car or place in the universe is so, so small. We want to think we're the universe, and we're not. We're just a speck of dust. And how that idea, that perspective, it makes it possible for us to be free, to allow ourselves the accountability to grow. It gives us the freedom to be able to push forward. Michael Bryan, sorry. When you say I've been through alcohol treatment and one day at a time is key, and don't ruin yourself and blame yourself for not being perfect. We're all fallible. Just exactly. That is. Thank you very much, Michael Bryan. Thank you for sharing because you know what? It's actually absolutely true. Is that if we stand here and say, well, if I fail, then I'm done for. That's not life. Think about. And today, I had a sugary drink, and then you know, that means number one, I said, okay, well, that means I've officially ended my intermittent fasting. I'm going to start eating, no problem. But then I could say, well, then I don't have to fast. No, 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 that doesn't change anything, right? We allow ourselves to release these principles that we're trying to stand by all the time. And I fight these battles too on a daily basis. Remember, I'm still very fat. I still have a long way to go. I've just done something great and I want to keep on doing great things. Right. So with that, I say, okay, well, no problem. I'm starting my food eating a lot time. So I'm going to continue that. And it was 6 hours, came home, had my pills, I'm done. Ta-da! No. Now, could I have done better? Sure. We can always do better. But the day before, I ate fairly clean, and tomorrow I'm going to eat really clean, and then I'm going to start a fast. So Knowing full well exactly where I'm going to be focused is a good thing. Knowing full well what areas I can be flexible with, also a good thing. And like we said in the last couple of days, was the idea of being able to have the structure of a plan that remains versatile at all times is a huge advantage to our progress. Because if we don't celebrate those little successes, then we start celebrating those little negativities. And those little negativities are just there. It's like those spikes you see at parking lots where you can go one way and they go down, but if you tried to back up, oh, they're gonna pop your tires, right? That's how negativity is it kind of is a one-way track. So as soon as we give it one, just one little falling down the stairs, it's brutal. And it will affect us at all points in time. So knowing exactly where we can bend and how we can be flexible gives us the power to remain principled, to remain accountable to ourselves. Because remember, today is only one day. I love this statement was that we only have to live it once. Tomorrow, totally new. It's the and remember, it's not just new to us. The whole universe is experiencing that day for the first time. It's not just we're not alone in this. It's everyone's first shot at that day. Go anywhere. And that gives us the ability to approach it with a positive idea and to structure it so that while our accountability may keep us within our lane, it still makes our destination the possibility. And that's the ultimate goal, right? It's about progressively getting there. It's not about, oh, well, I covered so much territory and I did so much. Yeah, that'd be great. But that's our journey and that's how it goes. Negativity is the killer of progress. It, it is. It's a huge killer of your progress. And that's why the key component or one of the really integral parts of this process is just trying every time. Failure is useful because you learn from failing so much more than seeing. Take those moments as educational. I know, and that's one of the things is that if we accept it for what it is, which is a learning opportunity, then we can progressively go. So I'll leave it at that today. But how you keep yourself accountable is by knowing what principles are adjustable or add versatility versus the others that are what keep us above water. So if you found this useful, please like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends, and please let me know in the comments if there's something you want me to talk about because I will happily explain what kind of things I've been going through and how I got there. So I'll be back tomorrow explaining more. In the meantime, stay vigilant and enjoy the rest of